Okay, here we go. Broadcasting live, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. With your hosts, Honest Abe and Adam K. the Brewmeister. Listen to the show anywhere in the free world at KMATalkRadio.com.
I like to smoke them like some Prince Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning, loyal listeners, libertarians, lovers of the leaf, everyone out there in Radio Land. Welcome to another exciting edition of KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in lovely West Palm Beach, Florida. I am the Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, the producer we can afford only.
With me, of course.
Is Paul the producer.
Of course, it should be with Abe as well, but
Yes.
he had a little bit of a mishap.
He's on assignment
Oh,
somewhere.
we're calling it assignment?
He's on assignment.
He's sick.
Yeah, he's on assignment, finding out the best ways to get over not feeling well.
I kind of gave him a hard time. I was like, well, all right, well, when you... I didn't say this, but I was going to say to him, well, when you man up, you can come and do the show.
A lot of people going to get hurt.
A truer statement has never been said. That is most definitely sure.
But he's really not feeling well, so we're here alone. It's just me and you. It's weird having a close-up camera on you. You can really see that you didn't sleep last night. I'm not going to lie.
I never look well, okay? This is a thing we've been over many times.
Oh my God.
I don't photograph well.
You don't video well?
I don't video well.
I think you look
This
exactly...
is why I've worked in radio for so many years.
I think you look exactly the same on the camera as you do in person. You just look very tired today.
I don't feel tired.
You want to talk about it? Abe's not here, so I can kind of rack your brain a little bit and kind of get a little bit more information out of you.
This is not how we make good content, Paul.
People want to know, dude.
I don't think they do.
I'm telling you, I'm sure the Facebook people want to know what you did last night. Let's just do that. What did you do last night that you didn't sleep?
I went home, I smoked a cigar, I watched some television, and then I went to bed.
You didn't, go out?
No.
What time did you get home?
I got back at 9. I got home at 9. I worked till 8:30.
And then you just didn't do anything basically the rest of the night?
No.
So why are you so tired?
I'm not. I feel very refreshed. I feel fine. I've had bags under my eyes since I was 12.
I know, but you look a little tired. But all right, whatever.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a crazy week last week. I left the show and went right to Disney World, but you guys had the annual Memorial Day.
And how was your time
barbecue.
at Disney?
It was great, man. Listen, it was hot. Not even a little bit hot. I mean, it was probably 100 degrees while we were there, and it was a little tough for the baby, I think. But we stripped him down to his diaper right away.
I saw a photo of you and Axel in the pool.
Oh, yeah, we went to the pool at Animal Kingdom Lodge. He got to stay there. He loves animals, so he was pointing at the animal. He was on the balcony the whole time. We probably had a 50-foot balcony because we had a 2-bedroom villa. So my family stayed on one side. We stayed on the other. There's a living room, a kitchen, 3 bathrooms. It was an awesome hotel room. We were only there for the night, but it was good. And then we went to my parents' house, to their Florida home, and hung out there in the pool as well. It was great. We had a good time. Okay. How was the barbecue, the company barbecue? That the first time since I've been here, I haven't gone.
Yeah, it was fun.
What a conversationalist.
Yeah. It was a barbecue. I had some beers. People did the spicy chicken wing eating contest.
Yeah, that I was excited about.
Yeah. There was definitely some snot running down people's faces.
Did anybody throw up?
A couple people did, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't hear that. Then there's no pictures of this. Well, I'm sure Brian has video.
Brian wasn't even there.
Oh, Brian couldn't go?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
so now there's no video.
There is a video. There was a collage made.
Okay, so somebody has something.
Some people have some things.
Okay.
I don't know who these people are because I obviously don't take photos, so I didn't, and so I obviously didn't do that. But I have one thing I can show you that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah. But all right. Every week here at KMA Talk Radio, we love to give wonderful things away. Our good friends over at Zycar have the Zycar Poll of the Week. Last week we asked you, what is your feelings about the Game of Thrones finale? Amazingly, 50% of you said you didn't watch it.
I guess we should stop talking about Game of Thrones then, huh?
We are not a Game of Thrones audience, apparently.
I mean, I don't watch it either.
I didn't.
You've never watched an episode?
I watched 2 episodes a long time ago when there were only like 2 seasons.
And it was too confusing, right?
And I got through the second episode and I'm like, I have no idea who any of these people are, what any of their names are, or what the hell is going on, or why I care. So I'm out.
Exactly. I've heard that it's like homework. I've never watched an episode. Maybe someday I will, because it sounds like a show I would like, but I got enough stuff going on in my life, man. I don't need more homework.
I don't need to dictate this much time to watching a random television show that people were upset about the ending for.
Well, so 50%. I can't believe.
Yeah, I find that interesting. But hey, that's our audience. We now know who our audience is, and we will have to dictate more to them.
Well, 31% said it was just all right.
Right.
So some people watched.
Yes.
But more than half, or at least half of our audience did not watch it.
Yes.
So, yeah, anyway. We'll move on to the winner.
All right, this week we're going to ask you on this week's poll if you'd like to win a congratulations to Jordan Stoner. He won last week's prize. If you'd like to win a Zycar Turismo lighter in
That's really
matte
his
black.
name, by the way.
Okay.
Jordan Stoner. He must have had a good time in college.
I'm sure. How do you listen to KMA Talk Radio? I listen on FM AM radio. I watch it on Facebook Live. I listen to it on iTunes. Or I watch it on KMATalkRadio.com.
This is just me being curious, because I want to know how we get to the majority of our listeners. Unbeknownst to us, Facebook Live became huge, right? So when we were doing Periscope when I first started here, and then we started doing Facebook Live, but it really...
Well, there was no Facebook Live in the beginning.
At the time, yeah. So, but it has become what I think might be our greatest medium right now, and we're on in 6 markets, so... That on FM and AM radio. So I would just like to know. So if for nothing else, this is, just for me. So hook a brother up.
Yeah. Do it for Paul, people.
Yeah.
Do it for Paul.
Yeah.
Anyway, our good friend over, Scott Weeks and the guys over at Recluse Cigars have the Recluse Caption Contest every week. Congratulations to Craig Richards of Reading, Pennsylvania. He took home last week's 5-pack of Recluse Cigars.
I think you had it right. Reading. I think it's pronounced Reading, even though it's spelled Reading.
Yeah, I know. I rethought that after I said it, and I was like, I know that's Reading.
We'll ask our first guest, because I think he's actually from Pennsylvania, from Scranton.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll ask him.
Head over to the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page and
let me post the picture.
Put your best photo on, a guy riding in a boat on a road.
On a trailer.
On a trailer, down a road.
So not only is this illegal, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure, and I think that's on 95, the major highway down here.
Well, it's not like I haven't seen, the guy in the back of the yard maintenance truck just sitting on top of the yard maintenance, in the big trucks.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You see that all the time. Or I think one time I even saw 2 guys, literally just sitting on the top flat, laying on the top of, pallets or something, just...
In the back of a truck.
And on the back of a truck, yeah. Just driving down the street, and I'm like, really, guys? You doing this? Okay, I guess. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. But, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Quite dangerous.
Yeah.
You got a pretty smile, boy.
Absolutely.
So check out the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page for that.
And you could win a 5-pack of Recluse cigars from our good buddy Scott Weeks and the people over at Recluse.
Who we need to speak to soon. We haven't had him on. There's some stuff going on over there that we need to talk to him about. So.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. Good news.
Oh?
There's always good news with Scott. I just like talking to him.
Oh,
he's fun.
Scott's fun. Yes, Michael P. Cappellini of Toscano Cigars will be here for our Meet Your Maker segment, and David BuShea of Sailfish Brewing Company is going to be here. We're going to talk about beer.
Do you have a bromance with David?
We've only met twice.
And? That's not enough? It's love at first sight, I've heard.
I don't think that's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about this on the break. All right. Well, so as you know, Abe is out sick. He's probably watching, and he'll probably be commenting if he can. He's pretty ill this morning, so we wish him well. And we're going to have some great guests on today. Coop will be calling in as well.
We'll see what's going on in the news. So a lot of great IPCPR stuff is probably happening.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure everybody's in that mode. Luckily, you're
wonderful.
not.
Oh, no, definitely not. Don't want to go. Don't want to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to happen. All right,
that calls for a beer.
Damn,
yeah.
Damn right.
That'll happen
played,
today.
Colin. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Michael P. Cappellini of Toscano Cigars. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Experience the new Henry Clay Warhawk, a robust and complex cigar that's inspired by the rebellious roots of Henry Clay. The first of a 3-part series honoring the life of the great statesman, this cigar is made with the best tobaccos grown and hand-rolled by the Grupo de Maestros at La Flor de Copan in Honduras. And it's not your typical Connecticut. This is a Henry Clay. Stand up. Be different.
Is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states. Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only nonprofit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Hello, this is Glenn Case, owner of Christoph Cigars. There's nothing more important to me than family. That's why I treasure the moments with my wife Terry and our son Christopher, aka Christoph. When we have those rare moments to talk about life, there's nothing better than smoking Christoph to enhance our time together. For Terry, it's our Christoph Sweet Tip Cuban selection. For Chris, our Sumatra. And for me, our original Maduro. Enhance your family time with Christoph Cigars.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
The recently released Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is an extremely rare blend of Perdomo's finest and most cherished 12-year-old fillers, binders, and wrappers. Bale-aged for 10 years and then barrel-aged in bourbon barrels for an additional 2 years, these exquisite Nicaraguan tobaccos are bursting with rich, complex flavors. Offered in Connecticut, sun-grown, or Maduro, available at only 250 authorized tobacconists worldwide, the Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is a must-have for every cigar enthusiast.
Introducing the H. Upmann Connecticut Grupo de Maestro, a redefined Connecticut that exhibits a fuller and deeper flavor, combining over 200 years of cigar making and refinement. The Grupo de Maestros, a brotherhood of master blenders, inspired to create a new definition of a time-honored legend. This collaborative H. Upmann features a robust blend of luscious filler, including a layer of specially cultivated pilotico tobacco for an incomparable rich complexity. The H. Upmann Grupo de Maestros, defined heritage, redefined Connecticut.
Want to be in the know and lift your cigar game? Join the Monte Cristo Social Club and stay connected with the latest cigar news. Discover events near you and see what's trending. The Monte Cristo Social Club is the place to stay connected to get the inside scoop and feel like an industry insider. Members can look forward to exclusive members-only benefits, special discounts, and details on how to gain VIP access to some of the most extravagant cigar events. New members receive an exclusive gift just for signing up. The Monte Cristo Social Club. Get in the know.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Well, welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in lovely West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm Adam K., the Brewmeister. With me, of course, today, Paul, the producer.
I'm going to stay on this zoomed-in shot of you all day. People don't get to see your... What color are your eyes? Are they blue?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't get to see your baby blues enough, man.
Okay. All right. I'm sure they're all appreciating that. With me, of course, Paul, the producer. Honest Abe is on assignment today. And,
On assignment to his bed.
yes, hopefully doing well. We wish him the best.
We haven't heard from him, so who knows? I mean, I'm sure he's fine.
He's probably fine.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
we'll just say that.
Yeah, he'll be fine. It'll be okay. For those of you stating we have no right channel, guess what? I don't have one either. It's all left, and I don't know what's going on.
It's only on Facebook. It won't affect the on-air radio. But if you're watching, most people watch on their phone or their iPad anyway, so they can't tell the difference.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Unless they're a professional engineer like you or I.
Well, yeah, but I'm not an engineer.
Mhm.
I pretend to be. I played one on TV once.
I was about to make that exact same joke, so thank you for stealing my
It's
thunder.
actually a true story. I really did. But it was not a TV. It was an industrial shoot. And I didn't have a speaking line.
Okay.
There were no craft services either.
Great
It was a
story,
terrible
Paul.
gig, man.
Great story. Anyway, it's time for what we consider to be our favorite part of the show.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
This week, KMA Talk Radio is pleased to welcome Mike P. Cappellini of Toscano Cigars, a cigar whose genesis is shrouded in mystery. Legend has it that tobacco piles were left outside for drying, rained on, and then dried again in the sun, and thus fermenting in the drying process. The cigars made from this tobacco would later create Toscano Cigars. Michael, welcome to KMA Talk Radio.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys for having me today.
Absolutely. So, you're the national sales manager for Toscano Cigars.
That's not what I wrote in there.
It's not?
He's the national brand ambassador.
Sorry. I saw that, read it earlier, then gleaned by, put two other things together.
I'm telling you, you didn't get enough sleep last night.
That's the case every day.
So I want to start with the rumor, or the legend, I guess it is, of the cigars. Is this is there any way of telling that this is a true story? Because this apparently happened back in what, the 1800s?
Yeah, so it was 1815. So personally, I can't tell you whether it happened or not. But yes, that is the legend that happened. We had harvested a bunch of the tobacco right outside of Florence on under Duke Ferdinand's watch, and a massive rainstorm came in. A hot August day.
As it does typically in Florence, right?
Yeah, right. So, so that was, and hence born, the whole story about that is essentially after the tobacco was soaked, they were trying to figure out how to make it pliable. They let it sit in the sun for anywhere from 10 to 15 days. As that happened, the neighbors actually started to complain about the stink of the tobacco because it became so potent.
Right.
And long story short, they came up with an idea to go ahead and drape the tobacco over a barn, inside a barn over a bunch of strings.
Okay.
With the wood on fire underneath it, hence born Kentucky, Tennessee seed, Toscano fire cured tobacco.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
So essentially, what started as an absolute disaster became one of the strongest brands in the world.
I never heard that story. I mean, I honestly, I have smoked these because my family, we're Italian, and my uncles, my great uncles, all smoked Toscanos.
Of course.
So, that's what I knew as a cigar.
Absolutely.
Except for my grandfather, who used to smoke Romeo and Julietas, but everybody else smoked these. So I'm very familiar with them. I have only smoked them once, but it was my first cigar.
No kidding.
A Toscano was my first cigar.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Here in the United States.
Here in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't hear that often, that Toscano's your first cigar.
I was not of smoking age, so I grabbed it, and yeah.
Nice.
Well, now it's been 3 years, I want to say now, that Toscano's been making a bigger push in the United States market.
That's correct.
Now,
but they've been here for a while, right?
Yes, it's been. But how long has it actually been a brand?
So
in the
that's
US?
Ultimately, we started 3 years ago through Miami Cigar Company. They're our distributor, and they're awesome. But before that, Toscano, there were a bunch of different little distributors, mostly up in the Northeast, that were pushing the product.
Yeah, because in New York we had Toscano. Okay, yeah. I was like, wow, did I get caught in a lie? I absolutely remember these cigars.
No, absolutely,
okay.
100%.
In the Northeast, yes,
but they never
not necessarily national distribution.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
I see.
That's correct.
Okay.
So yeah, the past 3 years we've been really pushing the national distribution via Miami Cigar Company, and it's my job to kind of tell the story. So.
Which is a story in itself.
Yes.
Because, Adam, I don't know if you looked at the notes about Michael, but he has, maybe in a great way because it's refreshing to the industry, but you didn't start in this industry at all.
No.
So just a quick, I looked at your LinkedIn because that's what I do. I stalk people.
Okay.
But just to give a broad range of what you did, you started out in politics.
Yes.
So you were an intern for the U.S. House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, later the Pennsylvania House of Representatives.
Yes.
Then you were a real estate agent for a couple of years.
That's because my mother owned her own real estate company.
Okay.
And it was always good to fall back on,
Okay. And then...
And do you keep your license up to date?
Actually, it was in escrow. I hope my mom's not watching or listening. I have to go check to see if it has expired or not. Because if it does, I have to retake it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Then, wait, that's not it, though, Adam. Then he comes to our world, and he worked at CBS Radio.
That's correct.
For a couple of years in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, in Philadelphia.
Okay. And then he worked for a technology company? Is that I couldn't understand. I really didn't know what that company was.
Yeah.
So a technology company doing what, sales? And
Yeah, doing sales of hardware and software. Yep.
Okay.
How the hell did you find your way to Toscano Cigars?
Well, it's funny. So...
Because you grew up in Scranton, right?
I did. I grew up in Scranton, and that's actually why I came to find this job. Essentially, for those of you who don't know, Parodi, Avanti, and Di Nobili are made up in Scranton. Have been for years.
Yep.
So in 2015, Toscano, Manifatture Sigaro Toscano, or Toscano Cigars, actually acquired Parodi, Avanti, and Di Nobili. When they did that, they sent over one of their great employees, Luciano Simeone. By the way, he's probably ecstatic that I just mentioned his name.
Hey, Luciano.
Yeah, he's probably happy about that. He took over as COO of that company. And long story short, he and I met once crossing, and then we became friends. And he was
just randomly at like at a bar or something, or
no. So I'm really involved with the the Italian American community.
Okay.
I was governor of Pennsylvania for Unico National, one of our districts in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. So
Unico is the largest Italian American service organization, and he was actually at an event there, and he and I just started talking there. God, this has to be over 4 years ago, probably, maybe 5. And long story short, it just kind of bloomed from there. And
became friends, and then one day he just comes to you and he's like, hey.
Yeah.
Got an idea for you.
Pretty much, that's exactly what happened, yeah.
Were you a cigar smoker before?
To be honest with you, I really wasn't a huge cigar smoker beforehand. My first cigar actually wasn't a Toscano, it was an Avanti.
Okay.
And he said an Avanti.
You gotta go with the hometown brand.
Yeah, well, and again, if you think about it too, like essentially why we had those type of cigars in the United States, the Italian immigrants became nostalgic for a similar cigar to Toscano. So Avanti, Parodi, and Di Nobili was born. So, that was actually one of my first cigars, and then I started getting into the Cuban, Nicaraguan cigars, and then at the end of the day, it wasn't something that I did every single day, and now it's just become such a passion of mine now.
Right.
Especially our brand, obviously. But yeah, no, it really was by coincidence, and everybody says things happen for a reason. 100%, this happened for a reason.
I mean, what a career change too, going into this completely different industry.
Right, and it is unlike any other industry in the world, we will find. And we're going to hear about Michael's experiences so far in the industry right here on KMA Talk Radio. A lot more to come. Don't forget, David from Sailfish Brewing Company is going to be here when we come back. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hey, Kemosabe. Dan Blunt here for Alec Bradley Cigars. Do you really want to hear another cigar ad that talks about wrappers and fillers and binders and aging and ratings? Blah, blah, blah. Tell you what, pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Smoke it. Enjoy it. Spend an hour with it, and you'll be one happy camper. That's all you need to know. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Follow the legend to Nicaragua. The Monte Cristo Nicaragua series is the latest addition to the extraordinary legacy of Monte Cristo. Blended in Nicaragua, the balance of this cigar is undeniable. And now it's been awarded a top 10 cigar of 2018 by Cigar Aficionado. This exquisite and complex 100 perfect puro uses only the best tobacco, combining body and flavor for a stellar appearance. A unique smoking experience that is now a top 10 cigar of the year. Monte Cristo Nicaragua. Two legends coming together to create one legendary cigar.
Tobacco legend Julio Aroa and his son, Justo Aroa, bring back the authentic Corojo and Aladino cigars. A true Cuban puro, giving homage to original vintage Vitolas. Aladino cigars are also available in a dark, rich Maduro wrapper. JRE Tobacco has an unwavering commitment for consistency and quality. Experience our commitment to excellence in any one of our 3 lines, the Aladino, the Rancho Luna, and the Tatascan. Light up a JRE cigar today. Visit jretobacco.com.
Cigar enthusiasts, Did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only nonprofit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Joya de Nicaragua proudly announces the release of Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial, a carefully modified recipe containing a unique and exceptional selection of barrel-aged grade A fillers and a beautiful silky shade-grown Habano wrapper. From the legendary Jalapa Valley, produced in small quantities, this exceptional medium to full-bodied cigar will continue to captivate consumers with its rich Nicaraguan complexity, subtle woody and sweet flavors, and a velvety finish. Try Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial today.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
CLE Cigar Company presents CLE Cigars, Aroa Cigars, and Asylum Cigars. With 4 generations and over 120 years of experience in tobacco. From seed to smoke, these cigars are produced in Honduras and Nicaragua with the utmost care and precision possible. CLE Cigar Company introduces a vast array of tobaccos in various sizes to bring the highest quality of premium tobacco direct for your enjoyment. Visit clecigars.com for more information.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Well, welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I am Adam K, the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Paul, the producer.
Hey.
Honest Abe is on assignment. And we are in the middle of our Meet Your Maker segment today, here with Michael P. Cappellini of Toscano Cigars. Michael, thanks for being here.
Again, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had one of these cigars?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was given them by Hector 3 years ago when they started distributing by Miami.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Hector yesterday.
Good guy.
He's the best.
Good guy.
Get nice and close to that mic, sir.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it.
He's getting too relaxed with us.
I am. That's the problem.
He's comfortable.
Now I'm comfortable.
So how often do you get to go? So we were just talking during the break that I was, for my honeymoon, as everybody knows, I'm sure on the show because I've talked about it, I got to
Endlessly.
I got to go to Rome. I was my first time to Italy. So my grandmother, before she died, said that you better go.
Sure.
And I went to Rome, and then we went up to Tuscany. We stayed, at a working winery and did that whole thing. Went to Florence for a day. So how often do you get to go over there? Because is everything based in Florence or Tuscany or where?
That's a great question. So all of our product is made in Italy. Even though we use some American tobacco from Tennessee, we actually ship that to Italy for final rolling, aging, and then we import it back to the United States.
Okay.
So all of Toscano products are made in Italy. Our factory where we make the long format cigars, which would be the Toscano Antico, Classico, 1492, Originale, Modigliani, Antica Riserva, Extra Vecchio, and Modigliani. Those are made in our Lucca factory.
Okay.
Some handmade, some not handmade. Then all of the short format cigars are aromatic, not flavored. Aromatic cigars that we have are made down in Cava di Terreni, which is outside of Napoli.
Are they purposely separated because the
Yeah, I mean the process is the same, but it's just it makes more sense to do the aromatic ones in a different location.
Well, I was going to say, if you're doing the aromatic ones in the same factory as you're doing regular ones, will the regular ones be affected by the aromatics or?
I mean, again, so that when you let's take it from a more simplistic standpoint. When you have Toscano aromatic cigars in your humidor, you don't want to put them You want to have them in a closed-off box or a different compartment because then you don't want the aromatics to seep into the other cigars that you have. So to answer your question, I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine so.
Right, if the humidor. So Adam, does that mean that I should put like the acids that I have in a different? I have a couple of humidors. Should I have those in a separate humidor? Is that the same thing?
Yes.
Wow, that's I should know.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should do that.
There is crossover, and you can get crossover contamination of flavors, especially on those big, bold, cigars that are aromatically infused and have those things like that.
I think by coincidence, the blondies that I have for when ladies come over, those are all in a separate humidor because for whatever strange reason I popped a bunch of them in there. But okay, well that's good to know.
Good job, Paul. Yeah. Good job. You did it without even trying.
I know. Well, it's just talent. Well, so that's pretty cool. So now we were also talking on the break that the manufacturing is different for different cigars.
Yes.
What cigars are the hand-rolled cigars? What cigars are machine-made? What's the difference between the brands?
Sure. So I'll start with the fact that, you know what?
You can hold them up.
I was just going to say I'm going to open one up. So I'm holding right now the Toscano Classico.
I actually have a picture of that box, too, randomly on our computer.
There you go.
So it's up on the screen.
It's actually one of my favorite cigars to smoke, to be honest with you.
Good job, Paul. Paul's so proud of himself with his Googling abilities and ability to
I'm the king of my castle. I am the king of my castle.
Oh, God.
So these are what if somebody said a Toscano cigar, this is the quintessential Toscano cigar.
This is what the long format Toscano cigar looks like.
Right. And is it considered a cheroot, Adam?
I'm going to say no.
No.
But it's similar, at least in the look of it.
In the appearance, in the appearance. However, you have to understand too when we talk about Toscano cigars, people say it's ugly. I don't like using the word ugly. I like to use rustic.
Yeah.
That's natural. Natural. People are afraid to smoke it because they look at it and they're like, "There's no way that that's going to be a good cigar. There's just no way." And then you start smoking and realize, "Oh wow, this is a premium tobacco cigar."
Why does it look the way it looks? I mean, obviously the fermentation process wrinkles the leaves, I'm assuming.
And then also you have to understand too, back in the day when that accident happened that turned out to be, what Toscano is today, this was the easiest way the most pliable way to make the cigar at that point. So essentially after we fire cure and ferment our tobacco, the tobacco leaf is actually very stretchy. It's almost like elasticy because of the process itself. So that was able to, the cigar shape that we have now is pretty much the most pliable way, the easiest way to roll the cigar.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but wait, we were talking about something else. What was the other question you asked me?
We were talking about
the difference between machine-made and handmade.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. By the way, I tend to lose my train of thought all the time. So,
welcome to our world.
Yes, I can imagine.
I walk around all day going, why did I come to this area? I don't know why. I forgot.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, some of one of our most popular cigars here in the United States that we have that is hand rolled is the Toscano Originale. The Originale is this same exact recipe as the first cigar rolled in 1815. So it's got an American wrapper with Italian and American medium fill, a mixture of Italian and American medium fill.
Okay.
The cigar itself actually in 2016 won the Cigar Trophy Award for Best Medium Fill.
The original.
Toscano Originale.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a really powerful smoke, and although it's very powerful, it's still very smooth and silky. The rest of our cigars, they to be honest with you, they appear to be hand rolled if you look at them.
Right.
But some of them are machine rolled. This is actually the Toscano Classico actually is machine rolled.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason being is because our devices that we have that roll the cigars actually mimic the exact motions of our cigar rollers down to the millimeter.
So, do you have one of the Originales to show the difference between the two?
I don't, but on break I have a brochure that I can show you because it shows a little bit different. Essentially, it looks just like this. The Originale looks just like this. A little bit fatter. It's like a 40 ring gauge instead of like because Toscano cigars too, even though some of these are machine rolled, each Toscano tells its own story.
Right.
Because none is the same exact shape, size, etc. But I'll go ahead and I'll get that brochure so you guys can kind of take a look at it too, and I'll show it into this camera's on.
Yeah. But the other thing about the Originale is that in the boxes that you sell. Yeah. What is there a human?
There is.
Talk about that because that's a unique looking box. I've seen those before.
Yeah. So essentially the other that's a great point. It's a segue into our cigar too. Toscano cigars, because of the fire curing process, don't necessarily need strong humidification.
Okay.
So you can keep them in your car for weeks without them. Don't put them in the direct sunlight, but you
sealed
can keep them
in the box.
Correct.
Or
Even if because each one of our long formats is sealed in the
right. So like that.
Yeah, the plastic wrap. So you can keep them in your glove box, and they'll be fine for weeks. If they get too dry, you can put them back in the humidor for, between 65 and 70% humidity, and you'll be good to go. But the box itself for the Originale I love because it's a leather box. It's a wood box.
Right.
The top is leather, really nice leather.
Right.
And on the back there's a removable humidification humidifier.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can use that for Toscano cigars, and you can also use it for other cigars too. So it's a great giveaway to somebody for Christmas, and the price point on them is great too. So it's a great giveaway for Christmas, for birthdays, etc.
What is that? A box of those retail for?
So it's,
approximately.
Yeah,
we won't hold you to it.
Right. They're between $6 and $7 a stick.
Okay.
So it's really not, and they come in boxes of 30. So
excellent.
But yeah, they're and again the initial look at Toscano scares people, like I said earlier. But take it for example, Clint Eastwood. The story of Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. He smoked Toscano Antico in all of the spaghetti westerns.
Oh, I didn't know that's what he was smoking.
That was that though. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. And in fact, I have the book. I'll grab the book too on our break so you could show it's in our Toscano Cigars book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a historian do it and stuff like that. So apparently Sergio Leone was a big Toscano smoker.
Huh.
And that's how that whole story came to play, that he wanted Clint to smoke the
now
Toscano.
Clint didn't smoke the full cigar.
No, well, again, I wasn't there. It looks like he had cut it in half.
So that's
which
something
is normal.
we should talk about too. Do we have time, or should we go to the?
We can do that in the next half. We can
Okay.
take a short little break.
Well, because that's something I
reset.
remember
Absolutely.
when people are smoking these types of cigars, they cut them in half.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great story to tell too. So.
Absolutely. We'll get a great story here more when we come back here on KMA Talk Radio. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hi, this is Nish Patel from Rocky Patel Premium Cigars. I want to introduce you guys out to our Old World Reserve Corojo made in a Honduran facility. What a beautiful medium-bodied cigar. When you light it up, it's got a gorgeous white ash, and you get that sweetness from that delicious Corojo wrapper, a little bit of spice, and a lot of nuttiness. Go to your local brick and mortar, check out the Old World Reserve Corojo. You will not be disappointed. Again, what a delicious cigar.
For hundreds of years, the indigenous people of the Dominican Republic took tobacco and rolled it tightly into palm leaves. These long cylinders of tobacco, called yagua, created different, unique, robust flavors and aromas, and that original tobacco is now, for the first time, featured in La Aurora Dominican DNA. Full-bodied, robust, spicy, and elegant, La Aurora Dominican DNA is a return to the roots of Dominican cigar making that only La Aurora can provide. Look to the lion. La Aurora Cigars, king of the pride since 1903.
Looking for something unique and awesome? Smoke Oscar Valderas cigars. 2012 Connecticut, 2012 Corojo, 2012 Maduro, the Oscar Habano, the Oscar Maduro, My Way, and our latest creation, Oscar Valderas Cicerone Edition. A great cigar that comes in 5 different collectible boxes with an amazing exclusive artwork. Remember, Oscar has something unique and awesome waiting for you. Ask for Oscar Cigars in your favorite cigar shop.
Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and its master ligador, Steve Saka, is crafting the very finest cigars available today. One such brand is his Mi Querida, a robust, extremely flavorful liga, comprised of rich Nicaraguan leaf hand-rolled in a 100% naturally fermented, heavily broadleaf capa. Earthy and dense, with a long-lasting, slightly dirty finish, Mi Querida is delightfully lush and full-bodied on the palate, offering an extremely satisfying experience for the most passionate of cigar smokers. Ask your tobacconist for Mi Querida today.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. Insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Baker and Zimmerman, defending the injured. 800-866-LAWS. Want to be in the know and lift your cigar game? Join the Monte Cristo Social Club and stay connected with the latest cigar news. Discover events near you and see what's trending. The Monte Cristo Social Club is a place to stay connected to get the inside scoop and feel like an industry insider. Members can look forward to exclusive members-only benefits, special discounts, and details on how to gain VIP access to some of the most extravagant cigar events. New members receive an exclusive gift just for signing up. The Monte Cristo Social Club. Get in the know.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm Advocate Brewmeister on this, the 1st of June.
601 day.
Yes, it is, 601 day. Shout out to our boys over at 601, the Espinosa crew.
That's what all the Espinosa guys are posting today on Facebook. You wouldn't know because you're not on Facebook because you think you're better than that, I think.
I don't think I'm better than that. I just don't think I need the time wasting in my life.
It's not time wasting. It's keeping up to date. Like I was just telling you about Steve Saka posting about his new blend. The brulee.
If
You wouldn't have known about that. You would not have known about that if it weren't for me on Facebook. You need to be on Facebook.
When there's a press release that goes out, and our good buddy Coop gets the press release, and then he posts it, then I'll find out about it. Or when the sales representative says, hey, this is coming in now. Would you like to order it?
Rumor-free, teaser-free. I don't know if it's actually going to be sold on the market yet, so Coop wouldn't talk about it. Because it's a rumor.
Sakalicious.
That's fine. We can do that. Anyway, we're here with our special guest today, Michael Cappellini of Toscano Cigars. Michael, once again, thanks for being here.
Again, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here.
So, before we went to break, we teased about the fact that people are using these to cut them in half, and
yes.
you almost can use them as two different cigars.
Correct.
And the other thing with Toscano is doesn't matter which end you light, because it's just do whatever you need.
That's correct.
And where did the whole cutting it in half come from?
Yeah, so that's a great story, too. It actually happened during the war.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, before the war happened, there was a high demand.
Mm-hmm.
Then
the big war? Which war are we talking about?
So, really both.
Okay.
We'll concentrate actually on World War II. And then rations started to happen when all the men went to war,
Mm-hmm.
and the demand came down. But then when the war ended and they came back, the demand grew even higher. So in order to keep up with that, since the cigar rollers weren't able to keep up with that demand, they started to cut the cigars that they already had rolled in half. And
Oh,
sell
really?
them that way, yeah. Pretty incredible.
Interesting.
Because you just showed us a picture of Clint Eastwood smoking a Toscano cigar.
Let's see, can they?
Yeah, I can see it right there. It's perfect right there. And I'm assuming that's cut in half. It looks like.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing too. Again, I was there, so I can't tell you, but that would be my assumption.
I mean, I think that's what I remember.
Now,
people
this was
cutting
not
them
a
in
paid
half.
partnership with Clint Eastwood in any part
No,
of
it's not. No, it's not.
He just
It is not.
voluntarily this is what he was doing during spaghetti westerns.
That's pretty. Listen, and again, I didn't write the book, so.
But how long has the book been out?
So they just wrote this book. The major release was about less than a year ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So actually, it was pretty neat. We did an event in New York City with Nat Sherman, and the author of the book came.
Oh.
And he signed books, and obviously he's from Italy, so he came, and it was a great event. It was awesome. So he was there to kind of talk a little bit more about the book itself.
Hold the cover of the book up so people can see it, because that's. So it's available for purchase. People can buy it.
Yep. There is. It's from Rizzoli in New York, but you can find it on Amazon, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Rizzoli website will be Rizzoli, New York. You can find it there too. Yeah.
Very cool.
So
as the national brand ambassador, you're probably putting in a lot of mileage.
A little bit.
How many places have you been so far this year?
Well, I looked
and what's
at
your travel schedule look like?
Yeah, I looked at my Hilton honors thing the other day, and according to Hilton, I've already been in the past year or so over 54 cities.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's more than one a week.
Yeah, it's great too because this job also allows me time to do my administrative work when I need to do it too. So, but as much as the traveling, it's a lot. I'm so fortunate to have this position, to get out and meet so many great retailers and our end consumers too. It's just, and when people hear the story, they're absolutely shocked about Toscano because again, it's not something most American cigar smokers are going to reach for this over a Cuban or a Nicaraguan cigar. It's just not. That's
so I don't know if you know this, Adam, but he's a young guy. He's younger than both of us. So you're not married?
I'm not married, but I have a girlfriend.
Okay. So what does she think about the travel schedule? We always like to talk to the guys about that.
That's a discussion to be had. No, she's very supportive.
She doesn't travel for work.
She does not. She's actually a teacher. She teaches Spanish up in Scranton.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, at West Scranton.
Oh, so that's where you're based out of?
That's where I'm based out of.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I could be based out of Florida if I had to be.
Right.
Because
you could be anywhere.
You could be based out of Antarctica if you needed to.
I'd like to be based out of Italy, but that's another discussion.
Well, I was going to say, that's the question. Why don't you base yourself out of Italy?
No, because all my work is here in the United States. I love the little Italian music. I love it. The little segue in. Yeah, no, all of my work is here in the United States. So
when you go over to Europe, do you get to take her with you?
The option is there, but unfortunately, whenever I have meetings,
she's got to teach.
She's got to teach.
Ah, man.
Yeah. But it'll be fun, coming along in the summer when she has a little bit more time, she'll be able to travel with me a little bit, and she's excited for that. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh darn, she's got the summer off and she has to travel.
Isn't that terrible?
That's awful.
It's terrible. I know.
Terrible.
It's
absolutely.
But
terrible.
I can't talk because I do it all year long.
Exactly.
So off topic for a minute because you and I would probably Scranton. Yeah. Now, somebody like me, I'm from the tri-state area, so I knew of Scranton before. Sure. But what do people that live in Scranton feel about The Office and the notoriety that it's brought to the? Because it's not necessarily a good. Well, I should say this. It's portrayed as a more simple place, kind of industrial, kind of. I don't know if it paints Scranton in the best light possible.
And is there a Poor Richards?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So. Let me take it step by step. I am
please.
A diehard Office fan. I love The Office.
It's a great show.
I'm probably on my 15th time watching it.
I do the same. Yeah, Netflix is great because you can keep watching. It's a show you can always watch.
That's correct. Even when I'm doing something in the house or even in the yard, I'll put it on my Bluetooth speaker and I'll just listen to it. And 100%. I just laugh every time. Yes.
There you go.
Yep. That was my ringtone for a while, by the way.
So you do like The
Office. I love it. The way it portrays Scrantonians, I don't know if I'm 100% behind because ultimately Scranton really is and I can guarantee all the guys at Miami Cigar Company and even in Italy that are listening are making fun of me right now because I always tout Scranton. It's a beautiful place to live, great place to raise a family. There's a lot to do. It's within 2 hours of Philadelphia. It's within 2 hours of New York City, so you can actually enjoy the city life while still living in Pennsylvania itself. But yeah, I mean,
like the average Joe that lives in somebody that grew up in Scranton their whole life, their family's from Scranton. Do they like the attention? Because people go. I mean, people go there, right? Just to say they're in Scranton.
Sure. I mean, I go everywhere I go. Oh, Scranton, The Office. We have a big outside of the Italian festival that we have in my hometown of Jessup called the Festa dei Ceri. We have in Scranton, right at the courthouse, we have a massive Italian festival where it's a lot of vendors and music and stuff like that. And whenever I walk around, people literally stop me all the time. Hey, where can I find Dunder Mifflin?
Oh, no.
And I tell them, go down that street about a mile and a half to the left. There's like an empty field down there. So that's where I tell them to go.
So that building doesn't exist.
No, it does not. But there are a lot of references when it comes to, like you were talking about Poor Richards and Coopers and stuff like that. Yeah. There are establishments that exist.
There's a Poor Richards?
No, to be honest with you, I'm going to be embarrassed, and I'm sorry for those of you from Scranton watching. I don't know if there's a Poor Richards or not. I think there is. And I can't wait to get bombarded with text messages and calls later.
If anybody's listening that's on that's from Scranton or knows for sure, let us know. Oh, well, this person, Carl, says he's from Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
I just saw that.
So, because we would do a remote from there, right?
From Poor Richards?
Yeah, man. That'd be so cool.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
I don't think Abe would get it because I'm not sure that he watched The Office.
Yeah, I think it might go in the worst part is, like, I ran into a guy in the airport the other day who was wearing the Michael Scott Race for the Cure T-shirt, and like I showed it to like I loved it. Showed it to 4 different people. Like, I had to take a picture of the guy. I'm like, "Do you get this reference?" They're like, "No, what is it?" I'm like, "Really? It's the best episode."
Are you serious?
Nobody got the reference. I'm like, Michael hits Meredith with his car, and then they have to go on the fun run, and they have this really long thing
For rabies.
It doesn't for rabies. And it was, and no one got it. And I'm like, thank you. At least finally I'm with people who get the references I'm trying to make here.
You have to work in an office to really, or have worked in a similar environment to that to really
I don't know
appreciate
if there's a similar environment to Michael Scott's office. Let's be honest.
I was close when I worked for a minor league baseball team. It was very, very close. Like I loved Office Space, the movie.
Okay.
Because that was totally my life.
Right.
But yeah, I think that you have to work in an office to really kind of appreciate that. Which fortunately you don't have to now.
No.
So, do you have any events coming up in the near future where you're going to be, or things you're doing in the?
Yeah. So actually, next week I have, without looking at my schedule, because I know there's quite a few. I have one in Connecticut. Then I have one in North Carolina, and then there's quite a few coming up in New England, and obviously with IPCPR coming up, there's all kinds of things going on. So, you know, it's an exciting time for Toscano, to be honest with you. Outside of my travel schedule, it's an exciting time because we've closed quite a few large partnerships with different companies. One of them being Illy Coffee. You know, nothing really goes better with Illy Coffee than a Toscanello, which is one of our aromatic cigars. They're the short format cigars that we have. They're aromatic; they're not flavored. So essentially, when you smoke a Toscanello, you're not going to get a real sweet flavor in your mouth. You're going to have the delicious flavor of our fire-cured tobacco, and the aroma around you is going to be whatever you're smoking. So it's more like pipe tobacco than it is anything else.
Right.
It's very enjoyable. And
I have Illy coffee. We were saying in my freezer now.
Yep.
Maybe I'll do an espresso. Stephanie's working tonight. I'll do an espresso. I'll have a Toscano cigar. It'll
There
be
you
perfect.
Go. Yeah, I believe you should. That's a great idea. And then we also have a couple different partnerships too with a different a chocolate company. Actually, they have it's Gertrude Hawk out of Scranton. They actually have we're finalizing that, but I use their coffee beans at all of their dark chocolate covered roasted coffee beans at all of my events. And when you pair it with the Toscano Classico, which I had there, and you do a retro on it, you actually get it's almost like a smoked s'more. It's absolutely delicious.
Interesting.
And the oak wood that we use, because in Italy we fire cure our tobacco with oak, and here in the United States we fire cure with hickory. So there's a big, there's a jump in flavor profile and everything there too. So that's the oakiness really brings that delicious light smoke flavor to the espresso bean and the chocolate itself.
Yeah, that sounds like a good pairing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sounds like a great time.
Well, cool.
Michael, thank you for being here. We're up against the break. You're off the hot seat, but feel free to stick around.
All right.
We're going to have a lot
There'll
of
be
great
some
stuff
beer.
going.
Nice.
There will be beer. We're going to talk to Coop when we come back. We'll see what's going on in the news this week. And so many more wonderful things. We'll have to find out who's in a cigar insane asylum this week. All here on KMA Talk Radio. Brought to you in part by our good friends over at Warhawk. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
We've got some exciting things coming soon to our favorite gentlemen's club, the world-famous Spearmint Rhino in West Palm Beach. Join them on June 14th for their 14th anniversary and glow party. There will be an open bar from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m., and they're raffling off a free bar tab and black card membership. Rum Shark Shack is now at Rhino and brought in an incredible new menu. As always, they have a 1-pound New York strip special for just $14.95 every day until 10 p.m. Whether lunchtime or late night, they'll be sure to keep you entertained.
Lights, camera, action. Real Clips Barbershop brings you all that is good about old school barbershops in a new cinematic themed environment. Whether you need a traditional cut, fade, blowout, or even a straight razor hot towel shave, our master barbers will get you right. All while enjoying iconic scenes from some of your favorite movies, right from our video screens built into the mirrors. Visit realclipsbarbershop.com. That's real, R-E-E-L, clipsbarbershop.com for a location near you or to make an appointment. After one visit, we know you'll be back.
Keep it lit with KMA Talk Radio.
Cigar Fairy's making rounds.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit Sindicato.com.
Hey, fools, how about a game of Cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're going to need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
Want to be in the know and lift your cigar game? Join the Monte Cristo Social Club and stay connected with the latest cigar news. Discover events near you and see what's trending. The Monte Cristo Social Club is the place to stay connected to get the inside scoop and feel like an industry insider. Members can look forward to exclusive members-only benefits, special discounts, and details on how to gain VIP access to some of the most extravagant cigar events. New members receive an exclusive gift just for signing up. The Monte Cristo Social Club. Get in the know.
Quality and value are always the two biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit SindicatoCigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Lights, camera, action. Real Clips Barbershop brings you all that is good about old school barbershops in a new cinematic themed environment. Whether you need a traditional cut, fade, blowout, or even a straight razor hot towel shave, our master barbers will get you right. All while enjoying iconic scenes from some of your favorite movies, right from our video screens built into the mirrors. Visit RealClipsBarbershop.com. That's real, R-E-E-L, ClipsBarbershop.com for a location near you or to make an appointment. After one visit, we know you'll be back.
Hey, Kemosabe, Dan Blunt here for Alec Bradley Cigars. Do you really want to hear another cigar ad that talks about wrappers and fillers and binders and aging and ratings? Blah, blah, blah. Tell you what, pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Smoke it. Enjoy it. Spend an hour with it, and you'll be one happy camper. That's all you need to know. We'll talk to you again real soon.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way: taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. Insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Baker and Zimmerman. Defending the injured. 800-866-LAWS.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only nonprofit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Follow the legend to Nicaragua. The Monte Cristo Nicaragua series is the latest addition to the extraordinary legacy of Monte Cristo. Blended in Nicaragua, the balance of this cigar is undeniable. And now it's been awarded a top 10 cigar of 2018 by Cigar Aficionado. This exquisite and complex 100 perfect puro uses only the best tobacco, combining body and flavor for a stellar appearance. A unique smoking experience that is now a top 10 cigar of the year. Monte Cristo Nicaragua. 2 legends coming together to create one legendary cigar.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
I like that.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I'm Adam K, the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Paul, the producer.
Hey.
And our meat maker, Michael Cappellini, sitting in with us. Michael,
Oh, yeah,
thanks
Coop's
for
on the
hanging out.
phone.
Coop is on the line. We're going to see now what's going on. The Scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
Koopaloop, what is going on this week?
Good morning. Hey, so we got a lot of news coming from the cigar industry as we're now 4 weeks out from IPCPR.
Oh boy, I can tell because I
4
can't
weeks
book
out.
anybody the 2 weeks, the week before and the week after the show. It's been very difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we're actually not podcasting those weeks either for the same reason. It's just impossible.
Are you, Coop? Do you ever go
To the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I've gone. This is gonna be my 10th year in a row. I'm going.
Oh, so you're definitely going this year.
Yeah, but it's impossible to broadcast from there. It's very complicated and expensive. And logistically,
Thank you, union workers.
Yeah, and the cost on top of getting people to come to your interview table, it's just not It's just not set up for like that.
And they don't have the time, I'm assuming, and you know they're worried about talking to other to retailers and other manufacturers and whatnot. But you have in the past though done like an impromptu Facebook Live from like Saka's booth before, right?
Yeah, we do a few. We don't do a lot of interviews actually, but we've done a few of these Facebook Lives and recorded a few interviews. Bear Duplessis, who's one of the co-hosts who works with me, he's covering the show with me. Yeah. So we do select interviews. We're not one of the media brands that's going to be having a camera going to 100 booths. There's just guys who do that better. So we're focused more on the written word and the product coverage that way.
Mm-hmm.
And do you do reviews of cigars that are premiered there, or do you wait for them to actually come out?
We wait for them to actually come out.
Okay.
Because of the conditions of those cigars. Now, they're important for us to get those samples because they give us an idea of what to expect. But also, it's not fair to review a lot of those cigars either. They're just not stored under these same surroundings like the cigars I get the rest of the year. Especially they're out in the desert or they're being transported back and forth. So it's not really fair to do those reviews, which is why. But it's important for us to know what these products are going to be about.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So what have people been putting out in the news this week?
Well, there was some news out of Espinosa, and I know everyone heard of the Dojo psychedelic release, but there actually was another piece of news that kind of slid under the radar. There's a new size of the Espinosa Wasabi about to hit the stores right now.
Yeah, the Corona.
Yeah, a Corona, a 5x46 Corona. Now, the original Wasabi was a box-pressed Robusto. But this one is a rounded one right now. And it's if Wasabi folks aren't familiar with Wasabi, it is a Candela release right now They originally released that as a lounge exclusive cigar a few years ago, and then last year they kind of took it into what I would say is a ongoing limited production. And the new Corona size is going to be the same thing, ongoing limited production. Good price point for this cigar, $6.99 for cigar, and a 10-count box, $69.99. So, it's not a very expensive proposition. So,
are Candelas cheaper to make for some reason, or not necessarily? Yeah, okay. I like them. I've had that cigar specifically. I really enjoyed that cigar. So I'll be smoking the Corona just to smoke it, because that's probably all I could get my hands on anyway. If that's the new one out, that's usually what you see, because they disappear after a while.
Yeah, and Candela is not. Most of Candela is very popular on St. Patrick's Day, obviously, but it tends to be. They still tend to be more limited quantities. It's not. I find that factories don't have an endless supply of Candela out there, so they tend to make them in limited quantities if they produce them throughout the year, like Espinosa does.
Well, because there's a market for them, but it's small. I think people still smoke them, but not. Not all cigar smokers are Candela smokers.
Yeah, true, very true. And but everyone seems to want to always, even if they're not a Candela smoker, when these Candelas come out, particularly in March, they all want them. They all want to smoke them. Yeah.
Got to try it.
All right. So what else we got going on, Coop?
Some big news out of Crowned Heads this week. They announced their new release called La Coalición. This is a project being done with Willie Herrera and Drew Estate. So, Crowned Heads for a long time, they've worked with Ernesto Perez Carrillo Jr.'s Tabacalera La Alianza factory, or the Garcia family's My Father's Cigar Factory. Last year, they started doing some limited releases with Drew Estate. The most popular one was the Ohio State exclusive Buckeye Land. But now La Coalición is going to be a full-blown regular line that's coming out there, which is the first new Crowned Heads regular line in almost 2 years. Because last year they did a bunch of limiteds. This is going to feature a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Sumatra binder, and fillers from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. It's going to come in 4 sizes. Pricing is going to be from $10.95 to $14.95. So I kind of would expect this to be a cigar a lot of people are going to be interested in getting at the trade show this year.
Well, that's probably, I would not be surprised by that. A couple of big name hitters in there. Yeah. What else we got going on?
Miami Cigar Company made a big announcement this week. They're bringing back the Don Lino Africa.
I've known about this for like 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
But you weren't allowed to talk about it?
Well, no, I just was waiting for them to actually finally make the formal announcement. This is one of those they did as part of the predicate things that they knew they were eventually going to have to bring it back. So, yeah, they've been talking about this
actually, I knew that part too, but I didn't know the hook with this was that they're working, that AJ Fernandez is now doing the blend for it.
See, that's the thing. They were working on that part of it.
Yeah. So, now AJ is, it's another brand that AJ is going to have a stamp on, and this is actually, I think this is still a different blend than the original Don Lino Africa from what I did research, even though this is probably still a predicate blend, right? It features an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, a African Cameroon binder, and a combination of Dominican Piloto, Ometepe, Jalapa, and Esteli from Nicaragua. It's going to be in 4 box press sizes. It's going to ship in September.
So when they say African Cameroon wrapper, that's going to be every time we say African. Is it tobacco actually from Africa?
Yeah.
Is it seeds from Africa, or do they actually grow it in Africa and source it from there? Colin.
Well, now that's the second part of the question.
Yeah.
But the answer is both.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, there is some tobaccos that are sourced directly from Africa, and there are other. The Cameroon seeds are grown in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the time, it's all just kind of put under the umbrella of Cameroon.
Okay. Well, I was just in Africa because I was at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So
you totally did that purposefully.
I did it on purpose because I wanted to hear. It's one of my favorite songs.
You know what's cool is if you see the graphic they did. It's kind of like a graphic you could put on like a T-shirt or something. Like
really?
A souvenir out of Animal Kingdom. It's a cool, like they have the African animals on there. It's actually a really nice logo they have for it. But the reason why I say I think the blend changed is because originally that was Cameroon in the filler, from what I had done some research on.
Coop finding the differences.
Find out the differences. So what do you got coming up this week on cigar-coop.com?
We're going to be reviewing the Vilga La Meridiana, which is a new line that they have come out with. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that, as well as the Davidoff Florida Sun-Grown cigar is going to be reviewed.
Oh, all right. Interesting. Did you pick this one up while you were down here at the Florida Barn Smoker?
You know what's funny? Actually, yes and no. I did pick it up, but the review was already written. So you could kind of get a little sense where that's going.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good. All right.
Yep.
Make sure, Coop, thanks a lot. We will talk to you next week. Well,
Sounds
actually, we
good.
won't because we'll be off. So we'll talk to you
soon. Are you going to be in North Carolina with Abe?
No.
As of now, I don't think anybody's going to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't think
really?
Abe is going to be able to go.
Yeah.
We'll keep you in the loop, though.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Make sure you check out cigar-coop.com for all the latest news, information, high-quality reviews over there at cigar-coop.com.
Teaser-free and rumor-free.
Absolutely.
He loves using that because all these guys post rumors and teasers, and he's not about that, man. He's about real hardcore
Give me the facts. Give me the facts. Give me the facts. All right.
I like a rumor now and then.
Going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to David from Sailfish Brewing Company. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hey, Kemosabe. Dan Blunt here for Alec Bradley Cigars. Do you really want to hear another cigar ad that talks about wrappers and fillers and binders and aging and ratings? Blah, blah, blah. Tell you what, pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Smoke it. Enjoy it. Spend an hour with it, and you'll be one happy camper. That's all you need to know. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Plasencia Cigars has been one of the world's leading growers of first-class tobacco since 1865. Today, Nestor Plasencia Sr., together with the fifth generation of the Plasencia family, continue the legacy. With over 3,000 acres of quality tobacco fields, they are makers of quality cigars, including Alma Fuerte, ranked among the top 10 cigars in major publications. Find them in your local premium tobacconist stores around the country. Plasencia Cigars, perfected for more than 150 years. Yours to enjoy now.
Hello, this is Glenn Case, owner of Christoph Cigars. There's nothing more important to me than family. That's why I treasure the moments with my wife Terry and our son Christopher, aka Christoph. When we have those rare moments to talk about life, there's nothing better than smoking Christoph to enhance our time together. For Terry, it's our Christoph Sweet Tip Cuban selection. For Chris, our Sumatra. And for me, our original Maduro. Enhance your family time with Christoph Cigars.
Ventura Cigar Company is a boutique cigar brand born in California. Ventura Cigar Company is on a mission to create memorable, complex cigar blends that excite the senses and reward discriminating palates. Experience the Cigar Aficionado number 13 Cigar of the Year, the archetype Axis Mundi. Rise up, step up, look up, fire up, and leave compromise behind with Ventura Cigar Company. Check them out online at venturacigar.com.
Make your next bold journey an epic one. When it comes to cigars, only one brand delivers intense, unforgettable experiences. Camacho. In continuing this fearless tradition, Camacho brings you the newest addition to its arsenal of badass. The new Camacho BXP. Intense, box-pressed, and crafted with rugged American broadleaf fillers from Pennsylvania. Available in Connecticut, Corojo, and Ecuador. Outfit your next bold journey with the new Camacho BXP.
Want to be in the know and lift your cigar game? Join the Monte Cristo Social Club and stay connected with the latest cigar news. Discover events near you and see what's trending. The Monte Cristo Social Club is the place to stay connected to get the inside scoop and feel like an industry insider. Members can look forward to exclusive members-only benefits, special discounts, and details on how to gain VIP access to some of the most extravagant cigar events. New members receive an exclusive gift just for signing up. The Monte Cristo Social Club. Get in the know.
Since their humble beginnings in 1998, Drew Estate has believed that the production floor is the crossroads between art and passion, and where the real magic takes place. Drew Estate Master Blender Willie Herrera has crafted a unique medium-bodied line extension that is creamy, lush, and ultra-smooth, and finished off with a flawless shade wrapper that delivers satisfaction in spades. Continuing the story from their factory floor, it is with great bravado that the Drew Estate presents Under Crown Shade, a true Drew experience.
Bold and complex. That is the new Romeo San Andres by Romeo Julieta. Using the very best San Andres wrapper leaf available in the market, Rafael Nadal and AJ Fernandez collaborated together to create a new standard among San Andres cigars. Medium to full-bodied, this cigar is bountiful in both flavor and aroma. Available nationally for the first time, Romeo San Andres is a cigar you do not want to miss. Make sure to get one today at your local tobacconist. Romeo San Andres by Romeo Julieta.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I am Kay the Brewmeister.
Look how excited you get.
With me, of course, Paul, the producer.
When there's beer, Adam gets so excited.
Well, it's the nectar of the gods. How can we know? We are now joined by David from Sailfish Brewing Company. David, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, for those who don't know, give a little background on Sailfish as a company.
Yeah, no problem. So we, the idea came about 7.5 years ago. Been in operation a little over 6 years at this point. But really, when my partners and I, Nick and Mike and myself, kind of wanted to get something going at the time, access to craft beer in South Florida was not a very prevalent thing 7 years ago.
No.
5 years ago.
Yes.
That was our biggest thing, is we wanted to bring local craft Florida beer to South Florida, and our biggest thing was wanting to really focus on actually making a Florida style of a craft beer, not just craft beer. And so basically, we got going about 6 years ago. Searched from Vero to Stewart, knowing that we wanted to capture that Treasure Coast area. Settled on a spot in downtown Fort Pierce, and then from there started off on a 1.5 barrel Blickman system. Brewing until 3 a.m, still maintaining our day jobs.
Oh, jeez.
So that was a long process, and we just couldn't make enough beer. So eventually, I want to say a few months after that, we bought a 3-barrel system, and that was able to allow us to start actually making enough just for the tap room. A little bit of distribution went to the Treasure Coast, Southern Eagle, and then about 3 years ago, we bought the old J.C. Penney's in downtown Fort Pierce, 25,000 square foot building. Bought a 20-barrel DME system. And basically moved all of our operations over to this new facility. And then we opened up a new tap room in front of that facility, too. So.
Which is a lovely tap room, by the way. If you haven't been, make sure next time you're in Fort Pierce, you stop by downtown Fort Pierce. You can't miss it. It's like the anchor of the downtown Main Street.
No, it's in a great spot across from the marina, and like you said, just an anchor of downtown. Mm-hmm. And we opened up a pizza kitchen in there a few months ago, too, which is cranking, doing great. So, yeah, beer, pizza. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that calls for a beer.
Which, funny thing, that's one of those things we haven't talked about, because that actually has its own register and is its own LLC, if I'm not, or corporation, if I'm going to have to guess correctly.
That is correct, yeah. So we actually sublease that space out to, she is local in the area, Big Apple Pizza, and just a little background, the Van Duzer family, Scott Van Duzer and his son, they've owned the Big Apple in off Orange there by RSC for 20 plus years, and we had a partnership with them to open up that pizza kitchen in there, so we sublease the space and have them operated.
And you have to do that because you can't personally sell food as a tap room.
That is correct. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thank you, Florida law.
Yeah.
Which is why most Florida tap rooms usually have food trucks.
Why do you think?
Now you know.
Oh, go ahead. So yeah, I mean, it's if you're a brew pub, you can do something similar to that with food, but we're an actual brewery.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things associated with how much beer you actually produce and what you're actually classified as for your license as well.
Yeah, because a lot of the other microbreweries that we have in here, they usually just have a food truck or something like that, or like the West Palm Beach one, they have, I think, something similar to what you do.
Yeah, and that's pretty standard for the most part. The challenge we had was in downtown Fort Pierce, they wouldn't allow food trucks within 100 feet of a restaurant.
Oh no!
So we took it upon ourselves to open up our own kitchen in partnership with the Van Duzers, and it's been great.
I had a feeling that was part of that too.
What's that?
I had a feeling that was part of that with the whole downtown legislation and everything
else.
What's
even more hysterical is 3 months after we opened the pizza kitchen, they lifted the ban on food trucks and let food trucks.
Oh, jeez. After you went through all... Yeah, but you know what? This is probably better anyway.
It's great. I mean, we have a great partnership with the Van Duzers. They crank some great food, and it's consistent, and it's really been a nice compliment to the tap room.
That's great.
Yeah.
Why do you think, Dave, that... Do we have time? Okay.
We got time.
Why do you think, Dave, that... And this is something we've spoken to Kevin at Barrel of Monks about and a couple of other breweries. Why do you think that Florida was so far behind the rest of the country with the micro brewery thing that was bursting around the rest of the country, and for some reason now it's hot here? I mean, 5 years ago, everybody was doing this in other parts of the country.
Well, I think part of it is that Florida is such a transient state for the most part. It has a lot to do with it. The laws that are in place in the state of Florida are really driven by wholesalers. Some of the recent changes that have occurred over the past 5 years with changes of the growler laws, really been caveats and stimulated more and more of these brew pubs starting to pop up for the ability to do growlers and those types of things, which is really important for this livelihood of a brew pub.
Right, okay.
So that was a big driver. You're really just getting over a lot of the laws that, some of the guys that, you look at craft beer in the state of Florida from, the early 90s to what it is to, you call it 2012, and there was 40 plus breweries in the States in that time span. We're the 42nd to open up.
Okay.
And from that period to now, there's almost 375 breweries in the state, either in application process or approved.
Wow, I did not know it was that much.
Exponential growth. Yeah. But again, the driver behind that were some of the recent changes to the state laws associated with what you're allowed to do with brew pubs and those types of things too. And then I think a lot of it too is the once the momentum got started and the concept of the local brew pub, the local brewery is really the main driver with that. And I think, as you move forward, you're seeing a lot more of these breweries that open up are the more of the focus to the downtown local brew pub, where you have your local brewery you go to every,
I miss it. I mean, where we are, I guess we have one in West Palm now, but there's not a Wellington brewery. Now that I live out west, but when I lived on Long Island, they were everywhere. I mean, there was South Bay, there was Montauk. We love those guys at Montauk. They're awesome. Blue Point, when it was before it became what it is now, but Blue Point, they were great guys. They used to bring us growlers. I worked at a baseball team. They used to bring us growlers of stuff they were just messing around with. I had probably what was one of the first runs of their blueberry. Before they became big, they're like, "Hey, check this out," and I was like, "Blueberry? That's going to be disgusting." But it was actually pretty good. But that's cool. So we're going to taste some beer, right?
Yes, sir.
What should we start with?
So I brought 3 of our cores, which are the main beers you'll find out in distribution in South Florida, whether on draft or on package. And then I brought a couple of our seasonal beers that we have in rotation that you can get out in the market. And then I brought some of our taproom only release beers that we can just for the taproom to do a small batch, 30, 40 case runs.
Oh, cool.
Taproom. So yeah.
And now you guys have also just started a packaged 6-piece.
Variety pack.
Yeah, the variety pack.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, so we just started doing a variety pack as well too, a 12-pack. So it has our 3 cores in it, and then it has our an additional IPA called instead of Fort Pierce, it's Port Fierce. So it's more of an East Coast style IPA versus Sunrise City, which is more of a West Coast.
After a few beers, I'm sure that one is a little bit hard to Port Fierce.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the packaging's great on it. It's a killer, primarily citra hop based IPA, and really kind of complements that 12-pack. So
excellent.
Which I think pretty much they're at right now. They're at all Total Wines currently, the 12-pack variety packs.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you find a Total Wine near you where you can find a great Sailfish variety pack.
If you're in Florida.
Unfortunately, not out of the state of Florida yet. So those of you out of the state of Florida, come to Florida. It's now all over the state of Florida. So yes, we're going to crack some cans of beer and enjoy some Sailfish. When we come back from this break, feel free, get started.
Yeah, we can start it now.
Get started. We'll get started during the break, and everybody can just watch as we sit here during the break, enjoying beer, not talking about it, and that's what's going to happen. More with David, and we'll see this week it belongs in the Cigar and Sin Asylum. Keep it lit.
You're listening to Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hey, Kimasabi, Dan Blunt here for Alec Bradley Cigars. Do you really want to hear another cigar ad that talks about wrappers and fillers and binders and aging and ratings? Blah. Tell you what, pick up an Alec Bradley cigar, smoke it, enjoy it. Spend an hour with it, and you'll be one happy camper. That's all you need to know. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Toscano Cigars have been pleasing the palates of cigar enthusiasts for centuries. What began as an accident is now a unique and delicious smoking experience passed down through generations. Whether you're a full-bodied cigar lover who appreciates the power of our Toscano Original, hand-rolled in our factory of Lucha, or someone who prefers a light, smooth cigar in our Toscano Classico, you become part of a Toscano experience, a unique smoke with 200 years of history and tradition.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only nonprofit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit sindicato.com.
Monitor 3 humidors at once from one simple device. Caring for your cigars is easy with the new PuroTemp wireless hygrometer from Zycar. You now have the ability to monitor the humidity and temperature in 3 humidors without even having to open them. Ensure protection by setting simple alerts that will warn you when your cigars are not in the optimal environment. Like everything Zycar, this is backed by their lifetime warranty. Stop by your local tobacconist to purchase yours today. Zycar, for life.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Colin is on point today, man.
Well done, Colin. Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. I'm Adam K, the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Paul, the producer.
I have a cup in my hand. I see Abe's missing out. He doesn't have the iHeartRadio cups. I found these today. If anybody from iHeartRadio is paying attention, I swear I'll replace these. Maybe not. No, probably won't.
You've got a million of them. You're a big corporation. You can handle it. Anyway, Michael Cappellini still sitting in with us from Toscano Cigars. Michael, you're happy you're here.
Tell you what, this is the best time to have this segment. I'm really excited to be here.
He's hanging out in Florida when I think it's probably raining up by you, too.
No, today we've actually had beautiful weather.
Oh, it's
finally.
nice up there?
There's no tornadoes or hard rain today,
Yeah, seriously.
so we're good.
Well, that calls for a beer.
Absolutely, and it does. And, of course, David from Sailfish Brewing Company is here. David, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me
Absolutely.
again.
So,
And,
Dave, what are we drinking?
All right, so this is our this is White Marlin. This is our Belgian wit. Started off as really our initial flagship when we launched the brewery. Traditional to style Belgian wit with coriander. We had a little white pepper, spice notes to it, our twist on it, and every batch we do, we put about 50 pounds of Florida oranges in each batch. So we're fortunate enough to have Natalie's Juice Company across the street from us. It's pretty comical to watch us go over there and actually collect these spent the spent rinds after they're squeezed, because they don't stop the operation. They just keep the conveyors rolling and ship the oranges off there. So
what did you put boxes underneath?
We're pretty much running around with our little dolly and trying to catch everything as it comes. So we obviously need to find a different solution as we grow and become more and more. It's just it's not a sustainable practice.
Interns.
But yeah, exactly. So but our biggest thing is using local Florida products in everything we do.
That's
we
great.
source everything locally. We make our own purees on site. We don't ship anything in. So we buy things during season, freeze it on site, and then we actually have an immersion blender. We'll make the purees on site, so we'd have those different access to different fruits and Florida products throughout the year. So.
It is a very strong scented beer, I should say, and I mean it's delicious. But it's like many Belgian type beers, it doesn't the smell doesn't pay tribute to the taste.
Correct.
At all. When we've had triples and quads here, they almost smell gross, to be honest, and they taste delicious.
You take that back.
Sorry,
you rinse out your dirty mouth.
But some of them don't. You guys make a triple too, right?
Yeah, it's called Hammer Down.
Okay.
So it's one of the first beers we started doing, and I remember bringing it to Jupiter Beer Fest, like 6 years ago, and it was at that time it was like 10.5%. And Hammer Down was like when you're on the boat, you throw the throttle down, the hammer down, and we call it a hammer down. We'll put you face down because it's.
I had one like that last night. I had 2 beers before we went into the movie because we had a babysitter. I was all excited. It was the first time we had somebody other than our family watch the baby, and I had 2 of them. Halfway through the movie, I was like getting close to sleeping.
Well, that's because you're a lightweight, Paul.
Oh, come on, man.
Yep. You're a lightweight.
So the next one I'm passing around is our tag and release amber. So this is
this I've actually had before.
Yeah, amber ale. Just real crisp finish. So the malt bill we do on that, you still get that kind of amberish, brownish hue to it. But I always use the analogy of wanting to scrape the back of your tongue sometimes after a few beers. It doesn't linger. It's crisp. It finishes nicely. There's not a lot of locally brewed Florida ambers.
Yeah.
So it's very popular. Throughout South Florida.
Why is that? Why aren't there a lot of ambers?
It's just not a very popular beer style. It's not flashy. It's not an IPA. It's not a double IPA. It's not a Belgian triple. It's an amber. Mm-hmm. But a good sessionable amber is what you sit down and have 3 of those, and it's not a flashy beer.
This can be found elsewhere too, right?
It's a drinkable day. It's a drinkable day beer.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, again, package wise, Publix is Total Wines, ABCs. And then on draft at many locations as well too.
Oh yes.
I'm not a beer drinker at all, and I'm enjoying this thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't drink beer very often.
It's a very crisp, clean, refreshing amber.
Correct.
That is just a very enjoyable. Yes, people underrate the ambers is the bigger problem that there is.
Name the hop stream.
Hmm?
Name the stream of hops.
The string of hops.
Stream. Don't you always know what kind of hops are in these things?
Well, basically, I can tell you the malt bill. It starts out with a 2-row. It's a 2-row malt bill for starters.
Do you know this, or this is?
You pretty standard malt bill for most beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you impressed? So Adam forgot to bring his the Brewmeister's, what was it called? Brewmeister's Private Reserve that Dave and his company actually produced for
with Adam.
For the shops.
Brewed, yep.
And were you surprised at his knowledge as kind of? I mean, he was an amateur brewer. He did it at his home, but
no, extremely knowledgeable. When Adam and I first sat down with Brett and Nick, it was at your shop down in Boynton, and just had a very in-depth conversation about everything in general with beer. And Adam's knowledge was extremely impressive.
Did it bother you at all that he drinks most of his beer at the bar at Whole Foods?
They've got a great selection.
Whole Foods does a great selection of beer, so I can't discount that.
See, thank you.
We actually just get into Whole Foods too, so we're happy about that.
Hey, oh, that's great. That's a big deal.
So the third one you're passing seeing right there is it's our IPA. It's called Sunrise City IPA, named after actually downtown Fort Pierce. Nickname is Sunrise City. So West Coast style IPA, strong hop bill of Amarillo and Mosaic in that, a little bit of Cascade. Again, just the aroma on this just really just overwhelms you. Just do a nice inhale as you actually drink that beer. It's really got a great aroma to it.
No, is that's hops? That's hops that I'm smelling.
Yeah,
because to me, I would call this very hoppy smelling. At least I haven't tasted it yet.
That's the point of that is just it's a West Coast style. It's really focused on the aroma.
It smells
side of
delicious.
Yeah,
it really
correct.
does. Like
and
this is.
you'll notice that part of that big smell you get in there is a very earthy, kind of
Pine.
grassy, piney.
Pine,
Yeah. Basically, that's a lot of that cascade coming out of that.
That is correct. Yes, sir. But again, this one it's 7%. But this is again 3 of these, a couple of slices of pizza before you know it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have a little buzz going on because it's easy drinking. And again, that's
Sounds
with
like
all,
a fun Saturday.
Yeah, that's what Adam's going to do today. I have to watch the baby, but
Yeah, with all the beers, our focus was really to make them as crisp finishing as possible. So, so we're in Florida. We want you to have multiple of these just to enjoy them, not have them be too overwhelming, too heavy.
right, because walking to the mailbox, you have to change your shirt because you sweat so much.
Correct. I mean,
So
it's just summer's upon us right now. You stand outside for 5 minutes, you're covered in sweats.
it is warm. I'll tell you what, though, I was in Orlando last week, and it is absolutely true that it at any given time is at least 5 degrees warmer there. Plus, there's no sea breeze. It's different living down here.
No, it's like the hottest place in Florida. Yeah.
Right, and on this coast. But when I first moved here, I was worried about summers, and our mutual friend EJ that I work with at my regular job, he said to me, did you work in Manhattan during the summer and take the subway in a suit? I said, yeah, every day. He said, okay, well, think about standing in Manhattan in the subway, 100 degrees out. It's at least 100 degrees in the subway, and there's no breeze down there. He said, that's Central Florida.
Yeah.
Here, it's like standing outside in Manhattan in a full suit. You get a breeze.
Correct. Yep.
But I think I've worn a suit 3 times since I've lived here in 5 years. It's so weird. I was a suit guy. Nobody wears them
Florida
anymore.
suits are pretty much tie, no jacket,
Yeah.
rolled up.
But I have to say, getting back on topic, and
Oh, sorry.
Paul talking about the show.
I'm sorry. I'm already catching a buzz. Second one in.
Keep that on the way. So.
Just wait. I have to.
We're getting to the heavy hitter stuff right now.
I have to say, like, the great thing about the core lines is your core lines have the same vein to them, and I know every time I'm having one, I know I'm having a Sailfish beer.
Appreciate that. And consistency's been huge for us.
It has a personality. Yeah.
We installed our. It all starts with water, and that's a big thing with Florida. You can't just go pour water from the tap to brew beer. So we installed our reverse osmosis system 3 years ago, and
Is it the same one that Brooklyn Water Bagel uses? Sorry.
No, it's the water's key to it. So starting with something pure, so the RO system strips the water down, everything out of it, and then what we do is build back the water for the specific style of beer from that region.
So you add minerals or
different
enzymes.
Enzymes, salts. Those
Oh,
types of
wow.
things. Sorry, thanks for lost.
See, I just drink the stuff, but it's that's fascinating to know. We've never talked about that before.
Yeah, water,
I guess it makes sense how important the water is.
The majority of what beer is, and it's at the starting point of that is the key, because you can get so many different off flavors from just any kind of water source. So
right.
Stripping it down to nothing and building it back for that specific region, whether it's an ale or wit, which are pretty much our 2 basic strains there for the most part, is extremely important of starting off. So getting that start off point is you've already got to the 10-yard line at that point, because you've got that far. So from that standpoint, as long as you follow a standard operating procedure during the brewing process, you're going to maintain consistency. And one of the things that we did last year when we started going to more package with our beer was I built a quality control lab. Mm-hmm. So very few breweries in the state of Florida have a quality control lab. But for me, it was one of those proactive things of I don't want to wait for something to occur out in the market and then react to it and put a QA/QC lab in.
Right.
We're trying to be practical with that, because the biggest thing when the beer leaves, especially in cans, you can't control what happens to it. It can be set out in the sun. It can be so our biggest thing is trying to mitigate any potential things that would occur once the beer does actually leave the facility from a recall standpoint or going bad or those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since we did that in conjunction with rolling out with package, and we've had 0 issues in the market with our beer. So
and I know you guys have been making a big canning push now. Now, how much canning are you actually doing versus kegging?
So the ratio still kind of remains 60-40 right now, 60% draft, 40% package. And that's kind of where I honestly want it to be, just because it's really important for us to maintain as many draft handles out there as possible, in my opinion. And the package is a supplement to that to, be able to go, pick it up at different locations, whether it's a Publix or a Total Wine or ABC stores or those types of things. So, 60-40, 50-50 run a sit. We're canning probably 3 to 4 days a week right now, and my whole philosophy is can more often, but smaller runs, so it maintains a fresher beer out there, so we won't have a huge stock of inventory. We pretty much more can on demand for the most part to make sure the beer is fresh as possible out there. So I love it. Our biggest thing is, the IPA has a 60 day shelf life. Everything else is 120 days. So when I walk into the store, on average, I'm seeing beer on the shelf 30 days, which is extremely impressive.
Yeah, that's great.
Soundation for all
what do we
that.
have next?
No. All right. So,
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
So this is Don't Poke the Bear.
Adam says that to me all the time about Abe.
Yeah. Don't poke the bear.
So this is our one of our quarter releases. So this year we did a quarter release schedule to have different specialty beers come out. So this is actually available out right now on
This
draft.
is only available at the brewery, or
no, this is available in Total Wines and on draft at different locations.
Okay.
So you can pick up 4 packs of this 16 ounces at Total Wine.
Well, why didn't my salesman tell me that yesterday when I was ordering?
Adam's getting somebody in trouble.
Yeah. Going to be a little upset about that.
Your cans are very unique too. They kind of have like a different look than, they don't look like a can of beer. It almost looks like a little bit of a piece of artwork.
And that's the thing, is that for all the stuff we do in the tap room, for the next 3 we're going to taste, including this one, it's a chance for us to show off our artistic side of it as well too, in addition to the beer, but also the graphical side of it.
It's great graphic design. It really is.
So it catches you, catches your eye, and it's just really unique to the actual style what we're talking about. So this is, back to the beer, Imperial Blonde that we treat with Florida honey. So hence Don't Poke the Bear.
honeycomb on there.
Yeah, correct. So we actually
You get hit a honey too the second you smell it.
no, and this is, again, it's an 8% beer, but this thing, I'm telling you, you can pound these things and
not know.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And you can tell that's a blonde ale with just that light crispness, but it's a little bit more potent because a blonde ale is usually a more sessionable, low alcohol volume.
Yep.
But it's in the front end. You can tell that blonde ale is there, but then it's the back end that really comes in you with that fullness, and that you can tell that it's got that 8% there.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a it's definitely more mellow than the IPA taste, but it's got that almost warming effect, or like I don't want to say warming, like cool, like soothing effect when you're drinking it. It's rounded.
It's a bit. There is a good balance because it has a nice front to it, and there is a good piece on the back end of it as well. Because the back is definitely different from the front, and it's got that honey on the back end. Also, a little bit of the yeast characteristics coming through on the back end as well.
It lasts a little bit, like it
lingers. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and it has a lot to do with that, the body of that beer.
It's delicious.
So the
what's coming next?
We do a treatment of this also. We call Don't Poke the Bees. That we add blackberries and bee pollen to it.
Ooh.
Almost it comes off as a sour at that point.
So where do you get the bee pollen?
Locally in Stewart, actually.
Like from bee nests, or
no,
like
it's
beehives? Like you go out and you.
No, they source it. They'll actually prepackage it up, and there's
people
a couple
sell
locations.
pollen.
Yes, sir. That's correct. You can go to most. It's like kind of a. If you go to health food stores, you'll see it quite a bit too.
You can buy anything these days, huh?
Certainly can.
Well, that internet's got a lot of fun stuff on it.
Adam's coming alive now. You notice? As soon as he gets a little
of our fun taproom releases. This is called "Cut My Life into Peaches."
Okay.
You can kind of read the lyric at the top there too.
I read through
funny.
that. I saw that. I was like, man, that is actually pretty spot on.
All right, let me read it.
Especially for a beer guy.
Cut my life into peaches. This is my last clean wort. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Fermentation, yeast eating. Don't give a blank about my gravity reading. So Papa Roach, who was just in Sunfest down here.
Yeah. So again, that's all from our guys in the back. I mean, it's I am definitely the least creative out of the entire group. I get excited when they actually come up with a name that actually sticks and no one laughs at me anymore. But like, this is a great group in the back there, and Adam's met most of those guys, Dave and Austin, and and Huck, and the creative side of that is just extremely impressive. And
Sounds
again,
like
this
they
is
were
100% them.
Sounds like they were drinking a lot of beer and just like, oh my god, dude, let's add
that happens
peaches.
quite a bit. Most of our ideas come about either we're testing something in the back of the brewery or in the tap room. But so this is an Imperial Berliner, which is kind of a sour base that we treat with peaches. So you should have been there for the day we actually get these truckloads of fruit that come in and have to cut it all up.
You cut it by hand?
Yes, sir. Cut it up, and we usually freeze most everything, and then we make our own purees.
So what? Everybody, all hands on deck. Everybody goes and.
Everybody gets a knife
sorry, we got
we've got a little long. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have more with Dave. We'll see Belongs in a Cigar Insane Asylum. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Recognized and respected throughout the cigar industry, Eric Espinoza and his La Zona factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, are committed to creating cigars of superior quality with the perfect combinations of flavor and strength for every palate. So whether it's the 93-rated La Ranja Reserva, the 92-rated 601s, the Murcielago, or the Espinoza Habano, Crema, or Especial, Espinoza Premium Cigars has the right cigar for you. The next time you're ready for a truly unique cigar experience, ask for Espinoza Cigars. A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit Sindicato.com.
Hey, fools, how about a game of cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're gonna need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
Mike Bellady has collaborated with industry legends Don Pepin Garcia, Manuel Quesada, and Ernesto Perez Carrillo to make some of the industry's most highly touted cigars. Through his company, MLB Cigars, Mike brings you 4 incredible and unique blends. Imperia, Imperia Islero, Imperia Aventador, and the David P. Ehrlich Tremont. MLB Cigars are made with the best minds in the industry. Visit us at MLBCigarVentures.com and follow us on social media. Imperia and David P. Ehrlich Cigars. Developed by legends, smoked by connoisseurs.
Quality and value are always the 2 biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit SindicatoCigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Lights, camera, action. Real Clips Barbershop brings you all that is good about old school barbershops in a new cinematic themed environment. Whether you need a traditional cut, fade, blowout, or even a straight razor hot towel shave, our master barbers will get you right. All while enjoying iconic scenes from some of your favorite movies, right from our video screens built into the mirrors. Visit RealClipsBarbershop.com. That's real, R-E-E-L, ClipsBarbershop.com for a location near you or to make an appointment. After one visit, we know you'll be back.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Baker and Zimmerman, defending the injured. 800-866-LAWS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Well, welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I'm Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Paul, the producer.
Hey.
And, of course, David from Sailfish Brewing. So, David, thanks for being here, buddy.
Hey, thanks again.
I love it when people bring beer.
Yeah. I'm actually on a diet again.
What?
Because I got to lose weight and stuff.
Well, you are getting a little chunky.
Thanks. That's nice of you to say. But let me tell you something. These are good beers because I'm not. Listen, drunk we're all fine. I'm not drunk. I just feel a little light buzz going on. I feel great. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And I love a good sour in the morning.
So what do we have next here,
All right,
Dave?
so the last one I brought is hop chata which is our take on a New England style IPA.
Era chowder.
You got this on there? Is this
Hold on, let me see if I can get it.
You got to get the chowder.
I got to get it.
The
there we
chowder.
go. Hold on. There we go. Chowder.
Chowder.
The right way to say it.
Say chowder. Say chowder.
So we're definitely late to the game on the New England IPA craze, but we're kind of pride ourselves as smartasses sometimes. So
which is one of those crazy things because it just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it's like everybody's talking about it, everybody's doing it, everybody wants them, and everybody wants this IPA I can't see through. They want the cloudy, throw out the filter.
Yep.
I mean, so what are the characteristics of a New England IPA?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's the hops are the big part of that. And like Adam said, the unfiltering part of it as well too, and it's a big part of that what makes those beers what they are. And it's the IPA, it's the non-IPA drinkers IPA.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good way to put it too.
Why? Because it's not as bitter.
Correct.
It doesn't have it doesn't have that high IBU level that you get from a lot of IPAs.
Okay, what does IBU mean? I don't know what that means.
The internet's bitter. Yeah, well, go ahead. Expert brewer.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What does IBU mean? He said
it's
IBU.
the International Bittering Units. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm outnumbered. I'm outnumbered here by all these guys that know what we're talking about. So it smells like an IPA just smelling it.
So the big thing with this is this is going to be the double the hop bill of your standard IPA. So the shelf life in these style of beers is not very long as well, too. But you want to drink these as fresh as possible because the whole component of an IPA is the fresher it is, the better it is because of the hops involved. So the hops will eventually go bad, they'll stale, those types of things. So these beers, again, shelf life wise, beyond 90 days, you're not going to want to get too close to one of these.
Wow, that's delicious.
Mm-hmm. It is, and it is a lot lighter and crisper than I was anticipating.
Yeah,
it's light, crisp.
So this is our third rendition of that style. So we keep the same label every time we do it. We just try different renditions of our take on a New England style IPA. And biggest thing you don't see a lot of this style of beer in distribution wise is because of the fact that it just shelf life is very short. So this is more of a taproom style beer where the brewers can really focus on the creative side of just adding different hop bills to different things. And for this thing, you're not going to use your standard hops, either like a Cascade or something like that, or Centennial. You want to really hop it up with, things that are hard to get, like a lot of South Pacific hops, whether it's Nelson Sauvin or Galaxy or the different type.
So is that difficult for you to come across those?
It is. I mean, the hops market is 100% a commodity market, so it's all supply and demand. So different hops will evolve and then they'll get names and get popular, but
sounds like marijuana strands, to be honest. Like some of the names are
the basics kind of.
It's not too far off.
Not too far off at all. So Southern Hemisphere hops are really hard to get as well too. A lot of that's based on the soil and just the different regions those are grown in. New Zealand, Australia really produce some fantastic hops, but again, it just goes back to supply and demand. You can only produce so much, and the price of those are usually sometimes double, if not triple, your standard, easier access Centennial, Cascade, Columbus style of hops that are pretty much easy to replicate, wherever you're at.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried to wet hop this?
We have not.
What the hell does that mean?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Let the professional.
Let the professional. Yeah.
So we did that with our Sunrise City IPA.
Right. How did that turn out?
Fantastic. So we're the hub for first access to Florida grown hops, which are actually done in the Treasure Coast area with the UF has an IFAS facility out there. And anyway, so we're the hub for first access to Florida, some of the first Florida grown hops. So
Adam, are you watching time?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I love where this is going, but I was watching the time, but I asked a question that I really want to get the answer to. Unfortunately, those of you on Facebook and in the terrestrial world are not actually going to get to see it. Sorry about that. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Next week we will be off. It's the best of KMA Talk Radio. Until then, as always, keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
We've got some exciting things coming soon to our favorite gentleman's club, the world-famous Spearmint Rhino in West Palm Beach. Join them on June 14th for their 14th anniversary and glow party. There will be an open bar from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m., and they're raffling off a free bar tab and a black card membership. Rum Shack is now at Rhino and brought in an incredible new menu. As always, they have a 1-pound New York strip special for just $14.95 every day until 10 p.m. Whether lunchtime or late night, they'll be sure to keep you entertained.
Awarded the 2014 Nicaraguan Cigar of the Year with numerous 90-plus ratings, the Perdomo 20th Anniversary Cigar celebrates Tabacalera Perdomo's 20 years as one of Nicaragua's largest premium cigar manufacturers. Using only the highest priming tobaccos grown exclusively by the Perdomo family, the 20th Anniversary Cigar has a tremendous profile with layer upon layer of rich, elegant, complex flavors. Visit your nearest authorized tobacconist today and experience the masterful blend of these Nicaraguan puros. Now available in extremely limited edition pyramid size in sun-grown or Maduro.
Keep it lit with KMA Talk Radio.